Welcome to Forefront Math and the Screener Data Collection System. When you're ready, you go ahead and click Login. If it takes you to a blank screen here, you might need to hit Login one more time. When you get to this, please use your email. That's the BVSD.org email and press Continue. That will let you either sign into your account. If you're already logged into an account, then that will put you there. When you get into this screen here, you will see first of all that you're logged in onto your own account up there. Please make sure that that's correct, and then you can read this notices here. And then when you are ready, go ahead and click I'm ready to make my first class. We are going to ask you to create your class this year, which will allow you to have more flexibility in the system. That'll take you into this screen right here. You're going to give your class a name. I'll just call mine Mr. Woodward's Math Class. Check to see that your school is correct. If your school doesn't show up, then you can go ahead and use this list right here. That'll take you to all the schools in the district. Then you click your next button. This is where you say what grade you're teaching. For this class, I'm going to say second grade. And then we ask you to align that then with the standards that you're going to be teaching in that class, which means for this class, second grade mathematics. This seems a little redundant, but it does add some extra flexibility into the system. And so we'll click next there. The date range for the class will be how long you're teaching this. I don't need to improve my color scheme, that's just fine. I'm going to go ahead and select my term, 2013-2014. The start date, I can select that on my own. The end date, I can select that on my own, or I could go down here to the bottom where we have some presets here that'll just take me to all the way to the end of the school year, end of term, and then I can see that that's now selected at the end of July for 2014, which is on beyond the end of the school year, but that's just fine. And I will click next then. This should then generate a list of all the second graders that are in your school. Or depending on what grade level you're teaching, of course. Now there are going to be some students we know that are not into our system yet, and I will show you later how to get them in. But for right now, go through the list and select the students that are in your class. If there's students that are not in your class, obviously don't select them, but just the ones that you're going to want to be doing your screener data on and seeing them all together. Then I'll click next again. This will then give me a list of all the students that I've selected. It lets me know the name of my class, my school, grade level, etc., and I can confirm that all this is correct and create my class. So once your class has been created, you'll see that your class now has its class name here, and you can see where you can access the screener right there. That'll take you straight into the screener. These bars here will later on give you a snapshot of how your students are doing relative to standards. And then you have over here your library, and I'd like to take a quick look at the library here. So let's go ahead and pay a visit to the library to see what's in there. Here you'll see that the questions to the assessment come up, and you can see the standards alignment for each of the questions and how they match to Common Core as well as Colorado State standards. And then also you'll have a way to see videos of the assessments. You can also do that right here, where it will show you an actual assessment so that you can go with that. There's also a sample scoring of that assessment that's in the video if you're interested. So that's handy to have in your library. And I'm going to take me back to the dashboard now. Remember, your dashboard is your major navigation portal for the whole of the site. So we can get to the screener now. We can go into, let's check our roster first. Remember, we might have had students that were not in the system, so we click there to access our roster, and you can see that my class list is there. If there are any students we need to add or delete, we can do that. We just delete with click of the X here and then confirm that we want to, but I'm not going to confirm that right now. Otherwise, we add a student, and it will be necessary to have your student ID from Infinite Campus to get those students into the system. That's the way that we recognize those students, is through their student ID. So next thing we do is access our screener. We can go through here, or we can go through our gradebook. Let's use our gradebook right now. It opens up to the snapshot view that will fill up with data as we put it in. And I'll click that to open it up, and now we have the choice of either, let's try that one more time, clicking right there on those vertical bars, and I can enter the data directly right here by typing numbers in. So I'll go ahead and finish up this row right here with all the data. This is in case I've already administered the screener in paper and pencil. Or I can use this interview tool. And the interview tool allows me to enter the data while I'm assessing the student. You can see that that first student already has their data already in here, and I can go through and look at those results. Or otherwise, I can go through and give the screener to the student there and enter the data right there on my screen, whether this is a laptop or a tablet or an iPad. I can make sure that I just enter the data while I'm administering it. Now remember, this is an assessment that you are doing with the student. This is not the student working on the computer. This is you administering the screener individually with each student and entering the data while you do so. This will just save you the extra step of writing things down and then entering them separately. Obviously you still might want to have a paper note catcher to capture the ideas that you get from the screener, any detailed notes. This button here allows you to change it to Spanish, so that you can do that for any student who's taking the test in Spanish. And remember, it is very important that the student understand each and every question. So if it's Spanish or another language, whatever we need to do to make sure that they understand. There is one other option here to turn off the auto advance, and what that allows you to do is stay on the same question. So if you, for instance, want to do all the counting questions with students first, you could do that there and go from student to student, entering the data for that. So let's go back to our gradebook, and now you can see that the data that I collected there using the interview tool is now entered into the system, and we have two ways of getting the data in then that way. Now we can see that the snapshot data is beginning to fill out here on these bars related to the standards where those students are at. Here's another snapshot view relative to standards for each of these students. We don't have quite enough data there to fill that out yet, but that will fill out over time. And then we have also the other view here, the kind of condensed view of the data in these vertical bars, and that would be able to sort from highest to lowest, or by first name, by last name, whatever is most convenient for you. So we look forward to working with you this year with this. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this program. You can put in a lot of different kinds of assessments, build assessments. Don't forget the reporting tools that are right there also. As soon as you have enough data, you'll be able to go in and see those. I'll make another video about that when the time comes. But please don't feel shy to contact us if you have any questions. Thank you very much. Have a great year.